Alright guys, I'm Golden Ninja Vlogspot and I'm back with another one of everyone's favourite format that's still some our thing, tier lists. So when I did my GW2 characters one and a couple of others revolving around that game, some people suggested I should do annoying characters. I didn't want to do that first just because I thought mine was pretty similar to Wolfie's, but I watched this again and thought, his is hella biased, you know. So here I'll bring you my own one, don't really need to explain it. So I've doubled down and gone for 6 here. I've gone for not annoying, ain't that bad, annoying, very annoying, extremely annoying, and the 4 horsemen of busted controllers. That's it for that, so I'll just start at the bottom. I won't go through by class, I think I'll just go basically what order I've put them in. Move the mouse out of the way, that might be a good idea. Not annoying, we've got most of the sunflowers. That's generally agreed on to be the least annoying class. And sometimes when they're hooked up to each other they can be a nuisance, and of course the dark flower, but not a lot of people use that. A couple of here just got one from the class, Electro Citron, just because, well, he sucks. And I put Jade Cactus here, not many people use it at all. And while I put Ice and Power above, even though they're not used much and aren't the strongest variants, I think their gimmicks do make them quite annoying. Jade probably should, but I can't think of a single time I've actually been like, oh god, did I just get killed by Jade Cactus' explosive shots? Also, on Garden Warfare 1, she can blend in quite a lot due to her darkness, especially on like night turf maps and stuff like that. On this game, not really, you could see her from a mile away. Flameface and Squawk, pirates aren't a very annoying class in my opinion, due to simply the weakest. I mean, sure, Flameface is fire damage, but I don't see many people play him, and I think his damage drop off as well. Engineers, got quite a lot of them here. Even though there are 2 here I really like, Paint and Sanitation Expert, characters I think are very underappreciated. They are here because I don't see many people play them. Not many people realise how good these 2 are in particular. And AC I was going to put higher just because of Ice, but once again, not very good variant, so he's pretty much there by default. Doctox and Archaeologist, I'd say the 2 weakest scientists. I was originally going to put Physicist here as well, just because he's not used often, but he's quite deadly when he gets up close. He can 2-shot a lot of characters, and he is one of those where if he gets up close to you, you've instantly lost a fight, which doesn't really apply to Archaeologists, and not so much Dr. Toxic. And Hovergo, I could have put him on just because of how he can hook up to Z-Mechs and stuff, but honestly, the Z-Mech themselves still the annoying part there. Moving on to Ain't That Bad. A lot of these first few are only in there just because they can be quite annoying in turf, like the 2 roses, Alien Flower and Toxic Citron. Toxic Citron in particular because his clouds can like take up quite a big area of the base, and because, you know, ballers. Fire and Vampire, the other 2 sunflowers I put slightly higher. Vampire Flower, well, because of her gimmick, and Fire Flower because a fire automatic character is like annoying by default. She's kind of like Barbecue Corn, like upon launch. Popcorn and Lorpy I put just because like those 2 variants like known for playing fairly and not ability spamming, unlike most other variants in their class. Lorpy's annoyance just comes from the fact that he can like drop you almost instantly, but that would take a skill player to be fair. Couple of other characters are here. Camo I would have put higher on Garden Warfare 1, just because she's used a lot more in that game. And while I rarely get killed by them, the times I do, yeah, kind of gets under my skin a bit. And Bandit as well. Not the most popular character ever, but in the hands of a skill player can drop you pretty quick. Pylonim's quite low because, once again, not played much, and his mech's quite easy to counter for the most part. Sure, he's got range unlike Drake's, so you can't necessarily camp him out, but he's got the least health, and he's not really got any cheesy abilities like the rest of them have. These 2 Super Rains are here because they're not the best. Breakfast Rains I also could have put down here, but I think the fact when you attack it's hard to see what's going on your screen, so I put him slightly higher than those 2. Cosmic Colour was originally going to put at the bottom, but let's be honest, if you've ever been Shadow Realmed, you know that's kind of annoying. The lowest soldiers, mostly because they're not the strongest. Supremo because you can't jump while firing with him, so you won't have any bunny hop rages. Part range because he's not the most damaging ever. Zen Orange, while he is kind of a cam range with fire damage, it's far less effective in the grand scheme of things, and he doesn't have the camouflage attribute. These 2 all-stars here just because of lack of play, that's it really. Moving on up to annoying. Commando and Agent I was going to put low down just because they have no splash, so you can't poke over with them easily. But since Commando is fully automatic, you can kind of still poke with him. I hope I'm not going to get killed by Commando P-mains for saying that. And Agent, mostly because of how good he is. And Rock I put lower than the rest of the Splash P shooters just because he sucks. With these 2 Chompers, it's just because of lack of play. And also because they're not quite good in the grand scheme of things. Chomp Thing has less health, so you can use quite a lot of things against them, like the old Imp Hunt cancelling Burrow tactic. They still have Burrow, they still have Goop, they still have Spikeweed, so they've got to be annoying. The rest of the cacti clothe this out really. First 4 just because of their sniper game, and bottom 1 just because manual detonation. Imp's pretty self-explanatory. Mech, Gravity Grenade, Imp Carter, Bunny Hopping, small, hard to hit, unless your main P shooter or Rose. Don't know what the general consensus of regarding Super Range, like whether people find them annoying or not. I think they do, just 'cause I think any character that's point blank only and is always in your face is quite the pain to deal with. Soldier's also one that I might have put a little high, but I mostly put these on just because of their abilities, especially ZPG, mainly just because I play P shooters a lot, I'll admit it. But a lot of people, I'm also guilty of this, do the thing where they just like cheese ZPG up close to win fights. Super Commando's here just because he dominates the range. Skytroop's here because he dominates up close. Tank Commander I'd have a think about because I put him high just because he's kind of like a scientist. He can drop a lot of plants in just 2 shots, if he can aim. If more tank commander mains were about, I would have put him higher. Electrician, welder, splash, status effects, especially electrician because his splash is so high. And scientists are either really good or because up close characters are annoying. Astronaut and Pains are just because they're camping game as well. And these all-stars mostly just because of ability spamming, that's it really. And now we go with even more annoying than average, very annoying. Druid and Ned because they're overplayed as hell. In turf is even worse, but even in other game modes they are quite a pain to deal with. These 5 corns here, for basically the reason I've already explained about popcorn being low. Even barbecue corns, sure he's a step down from the rest of the corns, but he's still got those cheat abilities and fire damage is annoying like no matter how you look at it. Pea shooters because pogoing. And while we can do the same with plasma, just spam the trigger button to splash you out. At the hands of skill play, he's almost as annoying, especially because he has no damage drop off. Citrons, because Ian Peach, Bull, Ian Peach, that's it. Drake kind of has a bad reputation because a lot of imps who just spam Gravity Grenade and Carter go for him. And a lot of people go for him for his mech as well, due to being pretty effortless. I mean, no mechs really take a lot of skill, but Drake's is probably the most brain dead. Z7 just because he is OP beyond belief. Likewise, Captain Cannon. Arctic and Scuba because they're like the biggest cheese fest as far as soldiers go. Rhodey I think are the most annoying engineer. 1 because he's always in your face, and 2 because his gun has like this distortion effect on the screen, so you can't see what you're doing. As soon as you see that on the screen, Quick and Goalie, Fire and Ice. And Zoologist just because he's an exaggerated version of a lot of the scientists I put in annoying. And here we go with the top 2 tiers, let's do this. First of all, an extremely annoying, I'm pretty sure most people agree with these. On just because he is insane, you have no hope of surviving his legendary mode, too much health, and he still has all those annoying abilities. Toxic Peace shouldn't really be up here ideally, given that he's nowhere near as good as he was in Garden Warfare 1, but a lot of people main him just so they can score easy kills without having to really try. Even if Fire P probably does that better, he isn't used nearly as much as Toxic P. Armour was a weird one because a lot of people would make the argument that, oh, he's one of the least annoying because all you have to do is just keep away from him, he'll never catch up with you. Yeah, the thing is, he's one of those where once again, if he does get up close, you have lost the fight. Not to mention he has Goop to help him out there, or even Spikeweed if he really wants to go in scumbag mode. Disco I originally had him very annoying, but moved him up to extremely at the last minute. I had him lower down before just because he encourages people not to suicide chomp, but the thing is, he'll use abilities a lot more in order to get that legendary mode. And as someone who's actually got a master Disco Chomper, I've definitely been on that side of the fence before. I've been in the spot where I've been desperate to get my legendary mode, so I've had to like unfairly use Spikeweed on a fire that didn't require it. Speaking of legends, Toxic Brains. OP legendary mode, that's it really. The fact you can charge with punches as well. And you ain't going to beat him when he's in overload. Possibly unless you're a chomper. And Chemist. I mentioned before how much I love this character. He's my second favourite character in the game, but god is he a nightmare to fight against. Not even like he's the best scientist, but his fixed damage system and insane spread just makes him so difficult to fight against. Because he only has to just catch you basically on the side of his gun and then you're pretty much dead. Also, from what I've seen, a lot of people use him for targeting. And finally, the 4 horsemen of busted controllers. I don't even think I need to explain these. I don't know what the general consensus are. I can't say that word.